Welcome to the Black Gods podcast. Today we are talking about the effects of whitewashing on Black people today and how far it has pulled us away from ourselves. This is about identity. This is about memory. This is about how lies, propaganda, and stolen history have shaped how Black people see themselves in a system that was never built for us. Whitewashing is not just about changing images or rewriting books. Whitewashing is about erasing origin. It's about taking what belongs to us, benefiting from it, and then convincing us that we had nothing to do with it. It's about liking everything about us, our culture, our music, our language, our creativity, our rhythm, our spirituality, but not liking that it comes from us. They like what we create, but they don't like that it's us who create it. This is why so many things that originated with Black people suddenly become universal or white once they are profitable. Music is one of the clearest examples. Country music did not come out of nowhere. Its roots trace back to Black people, our ancestors clapping, singing, chanting, storytelling through sound. Even the structure of it comes from us. Yet somehow it gets rebranded, rewritten, and handed to someone else. This pattern repeats over and over. We create, they capitalize, we get erased. And it's not just music, it's history, it's culture, it's identity itself. Whole civilizations were rewritten. Mesopotamia, Kemet, the so-called Greeks. These were Black civilizations before they were whitewashed. Before statues were bleached, before skin was repainted, before textbooks were rewritten. As Black people, we are lied to constantly about who we are, while the same system benefits from what we built. They take from us, exploit us, and then gaslight us into believing we never invented anything, that we never had knowledge, that we never had power, that we never had greatness. This miseducation is intentional, because if you knew who you were, you would not accept what they give you. You would not accept minimum wage while corporations are built off your labor. You would not accept poverty in communities that generate billions in profit. You would not accept being treated as disposable in a system that survives because of you. This is why our people are placed in environments that break us down instead of build us up. The so-called ghetto was not built to help Black people. It was built as a containment system, a place where resources are limited, stress is constant, and survival mode becomes normal. Look at the food. Look at what's available on every block. Highly processed food, chemical-filled snacks, MSG-heavy meals, fast food everywhere, and very little access to real nourishment. That is not coincidence. That is design. Food affects the body. Food affects the mind. Food affects the spirit. When you feed a community low-quality food, you weaken their immune system, you increase inflammation, you disrupt their hormones, you cloud their thinking, and over time, illness becomes common. This is why so many Black people struggle with obesity, diabetes, high blood pressure, autoimmune issues, and chronic fatigue. Not because our bodies are inferior, but because they are under constant attack. Physical attack, environmental attack, psychological attack, and while we are busy surviving, hustling, grinding, and fighting each other to climb within their system, they are building generational wealth off our labor, our land, and our ancestors' work. They give us crumbs and tell us to be grateful while they reap everything. This is the rat race they want you in. Hustle until you're exhausted. Compete against your own people. Chase their version of success. Grind until you die. All while never truly benefiting from the system you keep running. Then they turn around and say we're lazy or unmotivated or broken. That's gaslighting, and it doesn't stop at economics. It extends into spirituality. Hoodoo is a perfect example. Hoodoo is ancestral science. It is our way of life. It is how our ancestors survived, healed, protected themselves, and stayed connected to who they were. But propaganda had to be spread. Hollywood had to label it dark, evil, demonic, not because it was harmful, but because it was powerful, because it kept us connected to our roots, because it reminded us of who we are. Once you demonize someone's spirituality, you can disconnect them from themselves. And now, after centuries of exploitation, erasure, and mistreatment, there is the audacity for some of the same people to turn around and say, hoodoo is for everyone, as if the history doesn't matter, as if the trauma doesn't matter, as if the exploitation didn't happen. They like what we do, but they don't like that it's us who do it. This is why hoodoo is a closed practice, not because of hate, not because of exclusion, but because of protection, because of centuries of being conquered, divided, demeaned, and erased, while others took our identity and claimed it as their own. The Kemetic people were Black people, period. And many Black men and women don't even know that because they've been disconnected from their roots. They were taught that their ancestral ways were evil while being fed lies about who they came from. This disconnection is not accidental. It's part of a larger scheme to conquer and divide, to keep you in mental prison, to keep you disconnected from your lineage, while others claim land, history, and identity they were never a part of. They labeled us savages while slaughtering our people. Columbus did not discover anything. Black people were already here. We have always been here. We were everywhere, across continents, across lands, across oceans. The story of ships bringing us everywhere is filled with lies and omissions. It exists to justify theft of land, resources, and identity, to paint others as natives while erasing us. Decolonizing your mind means questioning everything you were taught about who you are. It means understanding that if a system lies to you about your history, it is because the truth would set you free. You do not come from nothing. You do not come from lack. You do not come from savagery. You come from builders, from scientists, from healers, from spiritual architects, from people who understood the earth, the body, and the unseen. Whitewashing was never about inclusion. It was about control, and remembering who you are is an act of resistance. This is the Black Gods Podcast.